Hey, we should both like leave frame. Leave frame.
I heard that.
All right, welcome everyone back to another episode of Muggle with a Mic, and we are traveling back to a galaxy far, far away. And we are, of course, with Phil Baggins, which is a different whole world.
Yeah.
And we also have, oh wait, Phil, do your welcome, welcome.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
There we go.
Uh,
And we are also joined by our Star Wars expert, Jedi Master Robbie.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, although it would be better if you took that hat off.
Never. Who day, baby. Hey, I heard the slander. I think it was on the last podcast, so gotta represent.
Well, if you need to borrow the towel to wipe up your tears after the game, you're
I
more than
figured
happy.
this. I'm like risking maybe this being my last guest host on this podcast by wearing this hat. So
Well, immediately when you came on the Zoom, I did for a moment really think I think I could just do this episode with Phil. Yeah.
you called me out. You did.
Phil's got his Hufflepuff hat on, so you're all
yeah.
good, Phil.
And I'm trying to drink my coffee without revealing my mug until the big. So if I
Let's
look weird, if my
let's do that now then, bud. Let's go ahead and show us your mug so that you can get your caffeine.
okay, all right, I have my Black Panther Wakanda
Mm,
Forever mug. So
nice.
Nice.
yeah, so
Now, I just have to say, I am an ultrasound tech. We both know that. And we see little babies smiling in the womb and all that kind of stuff. There was one baby that did
pristine, like
the Wakanda
Wakanda.
Forever
That's
symbol.
great.
Yeah. It was awesome. I got a picture of it. But all right, that's an awesome mug. Robbie, what's your mug?
Well, I had to make up for not wearing a Star Wars shirt by doing a Star Wars
Oh,
mug. So
very nice.
A collage of galactical
yeah,
awesomeness.
that's right. OT.
Yeah. Now that's all the original? Is it a specific film or is it all three?
Looks like it's kind of a bit of all three. Yeah, yeah, because the
Nice.
Is that
original Death
that's
Star is on there.
classic Han from the first
Yep.
one with
Right.
the shooting pose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this is uh a what's it called when you repeat? This is a repeat. It's a repeat. I got my Jawa mug.
Oh, there you
Hey.
go.
Yeah. So, and they were in this season, so I think it apropos. All right. Well, we are discussing season 1, or if you'd like to call it season 2.5 of The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett. So, first initial reactions for both of you guys. Robbie, what was your first initial reaction of the whole series as a whole?
Um, I would say good, not great. Good, not great. There
Interesting.
was some very, very, very high points of the show,
Mhm.
and there was just a few low points that just dragged it down a little bit,
Yeah.
without being just completely great.
Yeah.
Still amazing Star Wars though.
Okay. Phil, do you concur?
I would agree with that assessment. There was definitely some things I would have probably changed, but overall it was good. I'd probably give it maybe an 8 out of 10, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I mean, it was good. It was good to see everybody that was in it. But like I said, I was just like I question a few things, but we'll get into that, I guess.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to episode 3. Da, 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 da. The Streets of Mos Espa. I cannot keep these town names straight, except for Freetown at the end.
Yeah.
That's I can never remember which Mos it is. Okay, Boba must deal with two very different threats. Okay, number one on this episode, what do you think of the Goody Two Shoe biker gang?
Didn't like it. I'm just gonna I'm gonna lead with that. I didn't. I don't mind the gang, but it was like really out of place as far as like their little scooters,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because you're living on Tatooine and everything's like beaten and harsh, and then they nobody can make ends meet, and here they have these pristine little yuppie speeder bikes, which out of the series, I think those were the worst special effects whenever they were riding them. It looked like they were going like 5 miles an hour. I mean, the original speeder bikes looked awesome, but for some reason, every time they had those little uh scooters, I mean,
They're
it just looked
scooters.
bad.
They're scooters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like they were going in slow motion, and I do not know why, but it just, to me, I just thought those were horrible special effects.
That was the low point of the series for me. That
Yeah.
speeder chase.
Yeah,
It was like watching Spy Kids in Star Wars or something too.
yeah, and
The
that's
mods, I think if you put them on like a Coruscant or like a city
yeah.
planet, I think they would fit like a lot
Mm.
better than a Tatooine desert planet where I don't know if they were trying to make a like some sort of contrast with how you were saying Tatooine's
Well,
so weathered and they like stick out so vibrantly on there, but
they
it
said
didn't
that
work
was
for me.
a little homage to George Lucas and American
Mhm.
Graffiti with the different cars
Right.
from that movie. They were trying to do that, but it was just, it took you out of it. It was, like I said, it was out of place because everybody's complaining we don't have money, we can barely survive, and here they have these like really nice looking brand new bikes.
And
that
their
went
clothes,
5
just
miles
their
an hour.
appearance as well. They looked like rich, snobby little kids.
Yeah, it just didn't match the planet.
Mm-mm. And there's no dust on them? I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Everybody has dust on them but those guys.
Yeah.
I kind of thought we'd run into the Crimson Dawn in the finale because when we last saw the Pikes in Solo, and I don't know if we saw them since then, but the Pikes were like in collaboration with Crimson Dawn.
You
So
know what that means.
yeah, well, I don't know if we'll see Maul, but yeah,
That's my mole.
I was surprised that they didn't have Maul in this. I thought it lent itself to, I thought that was going to be a thing. I really did.
Okay, timeline. We're going back into the weird timeline of Star Wars where everything's released and you have to figure out when and where it happened.
Yeah.
Is Maul alive?
Well, officially, I would say yes because he was at the end of Solo.
well,
Huh?
But
here's where it gets confusing
Yeah.
yeah,
because he is alive in Solo, but then if you watch the Rebels series, which is
Yeah.
like a few years after Solo,
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan and he duel on Tatooine, and Obi-Wan stabs him through the heart.
So, has that happened already?
Yeah, this is 5 years after the Return of the Jedi movie, and then the Rebel series takes place just before Episode 4, A New Hope. So no Maul. But a lot of Kira takes over. If you read the comics, Kira takes over Crimson Dawn after Maul dies. So I kind of thought we'd see like a Kira.
Oh.
she could be Mother of Rancors.
Yeah.
Or
What's Mother
Mo-
of
Mother-
Rancors mean?
Mother of Crate Dragons. Even better.
Oh, I've got it.
Yeah.
I'm caught up. I'm caught up. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that works even better. Yeah.
Okay. Episode 6. From the desert comes a stranger. Oh, who could it be?
When I was watching that and I just saw a silhouette, I'm just like, oh
Yep.
no, they didn't. I knew
Yep.
who it was. I mean, just in the distance.
Oh,
That-
in the distance.
From
It
a
was such
distance.
good execution. Like,
Yeah.
The Cad Bane has been one of my favorite characters ever
Mhm.
since they introduced him in Clone Wars when he hijacks the Senate building and takes senators hostage and shoots one in the
Yeah.
back, and like he's just ruthless. Like,
Yeah.
and they did such a good job of making him be just as scary and ruthless in live action. So
What did you think of the makeup or prosthetics, CGI or whatever, bringing him to real life? Did you think they did a good job? Do you think that they could have tweaked it some, or were you overall happy with his looks?
I would say, yeah, I thought, because I mean, it's hard when you get a character first introduced in animation, because then that's what your brain knows first.
Yeah.
Similar with Ahsoka, like I still think they like nailed Ahsoka's
They nailed-
look too, but
Yeah, she was perfect. Although, have you
there's-
seen some of the YouTube videos where people kind of took Cad Bane and they kind of deep faked him or tweaked it so he looks
No.
more Clone Wars accurate?
No,
they
I
kind of
haven't.
they kind of dropped his mouth because his mouth's high up on this.
Yeah,
They kind of
it's.
dropped his mouth, making him a little bit darker skinned, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's interesting. There's several videos out there.
In my own head, I just attributed his like lighter skin tone to him just being older. I
Yeah.
don't know, like, cause he would be very old by. Well, we
I
don't know.
looked some videos up. He would be
Yeah.
71.
Yeah,
Which average age, or they usually live old age is like 70 for that
But
race.
for them.
for
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
race, yeah, for that race
yeah,
they don't live past like 50 some for the
Yeah.
most part.
yeah.
You're talking be about like 100 in human years or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah, after watching that, and because we talked about it a little bit, Phil, and then of course while I was watching the Chris Stan or whatever his video, I found another one about Cad Bane. So I watched another 20-minute video about Cad Bane.
yeah.
And after listening to that, yeah, there were a couple little things, but if he's 71, I think he looked good for 71.
Right.
He
Yeah.
had wrinkles. It's showing his age. He's moving slower
Mhm.
because he's just older, so he's relying on his pistol more than his body.
Might be moving slower, but he's still got the quick draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that gave Boba the dent in his helmet.
Way out.
Yeah, right.
So again, you were saying about them throwing it in the vat and it's being retcon. What were you?
Yeah, I think
I
they
interrupted
just.
you.
No, you're fine. I think that they may have still like burned all the lightsabers except Yoda's wasn't there. Like
That was Yaddles.
It was Yaddles.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe Yaddles was buried with her because we never knew what really happened to
That's
Yaddle.
the thing. Grogu has to be their kid, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it is strange. The only three species we've ever seen of them are all Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's only two you've seen in the universe, and then you have like a little one that's at the temple. So yeah, there's some Jedi hanky panky going on there. They just couldn't do it because they can't have attachment.
Attachment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Sometimes, Phil, with your wordage. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to get back on track after you Jedi hanky
Jedi
panky.
hanky panky in the fight. Really, I mean.
And his friends. I mean.
Yeah, and his friends, exactly. It's I don't know. Maybe this will be like a more of a learning experience for Luke as well, that he'll
Yeah.
come around.
And he
on
hooked
it
up
all.
with Mara Jade. I mean, it's not like he didn't have a relationship and have.
You're gonna
You
have
know.
to explain yourself. Who's this person?
Which I'm surprised they didn't bring her in. But she was like the hand of Thrawn.
Like Mary
I mean,
Jane? Mara Jade?
Mara Jade,
Mara Jade. She was like a
force
I think
sensitive.
yeah, she was force sensitive, and I think she even was around during like the events of the original trilogy. You just don't know about her, right?
She was kind of like a right hand man to like Grand Admiral Thrawn, which they mentioned him, and obviously he's going to be in there, so that's why I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was kind of like a spy, assassin type person.
And
She's
Luke
like
liked her?
Well, this is after the fall of the Empire. They kind of like butted heads, but they ended up like hooking up.
Yoda and Yaddling?
They had a
Yeah.
kid together in the
Oh, they yaddled. Yeah,
in the old
they definitely yaddled.
yeah.
Sometimes they Yoda, but
So they had a kid. Okay,
Yeah.
this.
See,
Luke's
this is
messed
not
up.
true canon though. This is all the stuff that got erased with the Disney
when
versions.
Disney, it was canon
They
until
could
was,
use it
yeah.
though.
They could, yeah. And we
Yeah.
see that all the time. They pull stuff back in from the old and make it a new, like reestablish it.
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Now, but we have to see that Luke doesn't really learn that you can have attachments to other people because he's a loner on a little Irish island drinking blue weird milk. So
Yeah.
he doesn't get any attachments according to this canon, I feel.
Maybe not.
Or maybe he does and he lost it all and then he ends up there.
I would like that better.
Yeah.
At least it would have motivation for him becoming
Yeah.
a hermit.
Wanting to
But-
leave and wanting to die, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I would be disappointed if that's the last. I mean, because at first, before I thought about it, I was like, wow, that's disappointing because I really wanted to see like a live action Cad Bane. And then when I first saw him in his silhouette in that episode, I was like, it's kind of like seeing Luke in the first, the Mando.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, that's awesome. And like I said, I really can't see him killing him off, but they could. But I think
Every
the door's
scene he
open.
was in like demanded your attention. Like you were just like, oh, what's he gonna say or do? Like, yeah,
when you first see him and his hat's down, and you're creeped out by his teeth and his mouth, and then he just tilts up, and people who didn't know he looked like that were probably super freaked out and scared.
Probably. He's intimidating for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Reworked theme song, Boba Fett theme song for the final credits, where they were actually
said Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's like I really like that. They always did it kind of like a cappella. I mean, like I don't know. And listen to the whole thing. But
I love this part.
I do too.
That's added. I mean,
yeah.
I did not notice that before.
The first Star Wars soundtrack to have lyrics, I think.
Except for Duel of Fates, right?
Does it come on? What
Netflix.
Platform? Okay.
Yeah. And so at the end of the episode, they asked the celebrity who they thought the murderer was.
Okay, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, pretty good.
As soon as you watch Squid Game.
Maybe you will never watch Murderville. All right, let's end this episode with a very important comment, and that is, let's go Rams.
Ah, boo.
I've already got Phil rooting for the Rams, so.
Yeah, I'm outnumbered here. I'm in enemy territory.